Charming actress, motion picture, and television star.
On the next Average Joe Hawaii, it's a...
Leading off. In the last 40 years, 20 schools have won an NCAA Division I men's basketball championship. Name them. Curt, we start with you.
Michigan State.
Correct. Oliver.
Kansas.
Correct. Stephen.
UCLA.
Correct. Schwab.
Let's go with the most recent, the Yukon Huskies.
Correct. Curt.
Duke.
Correct. Oliver.
Maryland.
Correct. Stephen.
Syracuse.
Correct. Schwab.
For you, North Carolina.
Thank you. Correct. Curt.
Indiana.
Correct. Oliver.
Michigan State.
Said you were out for this particular question. Stephen.
Texas Western.
Correct. Schwab.
Louisville, the Doctors of Dunk.
Correct. Curt.
North Carolina State.
Correct.
University of Michigan.
Correct. Schwab.
Marquette.
Correct. Curt.
Kentucky.
Correct. Stephen.
University of Arizona.
Correct. Schwab.
This hurts me as a St. John's guy, but the Hoyas of Georgetown.
It really hurts you to say that, but you are correct. Curt.
UNLV.
Correct. Stephen.
Villanova.
Correct. Schwab.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Correct. Curt. Curt. We're just testing you, Curt. There are no more. But you were thinking about it, weren't you? All right. Everybody's doing well. We got triple sixes. Curt, Stephen, Schwab, 6, Oliver, 2. All right. Time for our next topic, and Oliver, we're going to start with you. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Who are the top 20 NFL leaders in career passing yards?
Dan Marino.
Correct. Stephen.
Fran Tarkenton.
Correct. Schwab.
John Elway.
Correct. Curt.
Dan Fouts.
Correct. Oliver.
Johnny Unitas.
Correct. Stephen.
Vinny Testaverde.
Correct. Schwab.
Joe Montana.
Correct. Curt.
Steve Young.
Correct. Oliver.
Sammy Ba.
That's old school, and the answer is no. You are out for this series of questions. Stephen.
John Brody.
That would be incorrect. You are out for this series of questions. Schwab.
Troy Aikman.
Correct. Curt.
Bernie Kosar.
Nope. Schwab.
Boomer Esiason,
That
for
works.
sure.
Yep.
Jim Hart, the ex-Cardinal.
Yep.
Used to have great guys like Mel Gray to throw to.
All right. Good run. How you guys feeling?
Great.
Excel. We got another one to go. The last topic. Stephen, we're going to start with you. Who are the top 20 all-time Major League strikeout leaders? Stephen.
Is this pitchers or people that were struck out?
The top 20 all-time Major League strikeout leaders. Pitchers.
Nolan Ryan.
Correct. Schwab.
Randy Johnson.
Correct. Curt.
Steve Carlton.
Correct. Oliver.
Roger Clemens.
Correct. Stephen.
Tom Seaver.
Correct. Schwab.
David Cohn.
Correct. Curt.
Bert Blyleven.
Correct. Oliver.
Jim Palmer.
That is incorrect. You are out. Stephen.
Dunn Sutton.
Correct. Schwab.
Gaylord Perry.
Correct. Curt.
Walter Johnson.
Correct. Stephen. Say something.
Jerry Kuzman.
Nope, you were incorrect. You were out. Schwab.
Frank Tanana.
Correct. Curt.
Bob Gibson.
Correct.
And let's go back to 1968, one of my favorite World Series is Bob Gibson, Mickey Lolich.
That's just some knowledge. Correct. Curt.
Fergie Jenkins.
Correct. Schwab.
I don't think we've said him yet. Cy Young?
Correct. Curt.
Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Nope. But it's nice that you knew all 3 names. Schwab.
Greg Maddux.
Yep.
Let's see.
Oh, Mr. Knuckler himself.
Phil
You were
Niekro?
about to say it. Yep. Stuff like that. You got to know it. You got to know it. You got to know it. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. With only, hate to say it, Oliver, but with only 5 points, Oliver, you broke the chain of love, man.
Sorry.
We are down to 2. It's going to be a fight to the finish, but in the end, only one of them will get their chance to make sports history. The competition heats up when we come back to Stump the Schwab.
The Schwab.
Welcome back to Stump the Schwab. I'm Stuart Scott here in the research room with Curt Spear and Stephen Miller, and of course, the wise and all-knowing the Schwab. We are in round 2, so we will reset the scoreboard and start from scratch. The Schwab, he'll be sitting this one out, but he'll also be sizing you all up. He'll keep you honest if you are wrong, because basically that's his J.O.B. That's the man's job. He's the Schwab. Every night at ESPN, our reputations are on the line because our viewers want the right facts. They want the right numbers. They want the right information, and that's why we have researchers to keep us honest. Schwab, if I said something like Emmitt Smith surpassed Barry Sanders as the NFL's all-time leading rusher in 2000, I'd be cool, right?
You'd be unemployed, Stu.
Ooh.
Truth of the matter is Emmitt Smith passed Sweetness, Walter Payton.
That's what I'm talking about. Facts. You got to know them. You got to know them quickly. We'll see how well you all do right now. This game is called Stop the Presses, and here's how you play. Each contestant will see a piece of copy that has one single factual mistake. You must identify the mistake and correct it. Identifying the mistake is worth 1 point. Then correcting it is worth an additional point. If either part of your answer is inaccurate, your opponent can steal. Curt, you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
I only say you because you are up first. It is time to play Stop the Presses. In one of the most dramatic endings in Super Bowl history, Bills kicker Scott Norwood missed a 47-yard field goal attempt wide left with seconds remaining, allowing the New York Giants to win Super Bowl 25. What's the mistake?
The mistake is it says the attempt wide left.
Schwab?
You are correct.
Correct it then.
It should be wide right.
That is also right, and of course that game in Tampa Bay, down in Tampa, Florida. The other thing about that game I'll always remember, the Giants had the ball for over 40 minutes in that game.
Good gracious. All right, 2 points for you, Curt. Stephen, with one out in the bottom of the ninth, Joe Carter blasted a 2-run home run off Phillies closer Mitch Wild Thing Williams to give the Toronto Blue Jays a come-from-behind walk-off win in Game 6, clinching the 1993 World Series. What is not right? Need it.
It was with 2 outs.
That
Schwab?
is incorrect.
So you were incorrect about what's incorrect. Curt, you have a chance to steal. What is incorrect?
Is it that, I believe the mistake is that it was a 2-run home run?
Schwab?
You are right.
Correct it now.
It was a 3-run home run.
That is correct.
4-0. That's a nice run by you. All right, in Game 6, Curt, still your turn. Game 6 of the 1999 Stanley Cup Finals. Replay showed that Brett Hull's skate was inside the crease as he slipped the controversial game-winning goal past Dominic Hasek in double overtime, giving the Dallas Stars the cup. What's incorrect?
Double overtime?
You are
Schwab?
right.
You were right. Now make it right.
Triple overtime.
You are also right.
6-0. Stephen, you got to make a dent. Got to do something here, dog. Here we go. After Tim Duncan hit an improbable shot to put the Spurs up 1, Derek Fisher nailed an 18-foot jumper with 0.6 seconds remaining to give the Lakers a 74-73 victory in Game 5 against San Antonio in the 2004 playoffs.
The incorrect statement is 0.6 seconds.
You're right.
Correct it.
The correct statement should be 0.4.
That also is correct.
Stephen is on the board. All right, Curt, back to you. Number 5, freshman Carmelo Anthony scored 20 points on the way to being named most outstanding player as Syracuse defeated Kentucky 81-78 in the Superdome to win the 2003 NCAA tournament. What's wrong?
The mistake is where it says they defeated Kentucky.
That is right.
Follow it up, Curt.
It should say that they defeated Kansas.
That, too, is right, and I think Jim Boeheim will always remember Hakeem Warwick's blocked shot near the end of the game.
Curt has 8. Stephen, you got 2. Stephen, last stop the presses. In a historic comeback victory, Justin Leonard stroked an amazing 45-foot birdie putt on the 17th hole, on the way to having the match with Colin Montgomery and allowing the U.S. to claim the 1999 Ryder Cup. What is incorrect?
The incorrect statement is Colin Montgomery.
That is right.
And the correct statement should be Jose Maria Olazabal.
That, too, is correct.
All right. Okay, that is the end of the round. Both you guys did good work, Stephen. You for a little bit, but then you came on strong. At the end of round 2, Stephen has 4 points. Curt has 8 points. We've got one more round to go before we send somebody out of the research room for good. And one of these two is just moments away from a one-on-one showdown of a lifetime. Y'all got to stick around.
Stump the Schwab.
Welcome back to Stump the Schwab. I'm Stuart Scott here in the research room with Curt Spear with 8 points and Stephen Miller with 4 points. And over here is the Dalai Lama of the data. We call him the Schwab. Now, if we call this one Name That, just like Name That Tune, we want to know how many clues it takes you to get an answer. This next game tests your depth of sports knowledge across the board, having to figure something out with only a little bit of information. Here's how you play Name That. We'll give you a category. You and your opponent will bid on how many clues it would take to answer a question in that category. The contestant with the lowest bid gets to answer the question. If correct, you get 5 points. If incorrect, your opponent will get all 5 points. Schwab, take it away.
The category is Major League Baseball.
Stephen, you're going to start the bidding.
I can name that in 7 clues.
6 clues.
5 clues.
3 clues.
2 clues.
Name it.
Stephen, Major League Baseball category, here are your 2 clues. Clue number 1, I started a 17-year Major League career with the Expos. Clue number 2, throws lefty and bats righty. Those are your 2 clues. Major League Baseball category, name that player.
Soon.
Don't know.
Don't know is not the right answer.
Curt, you get 5 points because your man didn't get it. Just for giggles and grins, Curt, do you know it?
Is it Randy Johnson?
Randy Johnson is correct.
It is Randy Johnson. All right.
Your next category is women in sports.
Curt, start the bidding.
7 clues.
6.
5 clues.
3.
Name it.
Stephen, women in sports, the category. Here are your 3 clues. Played on 4 NCAA championship teams at North Carolina. Your second clue. Won a gold medal on the U.S. team in the 1996 Olympic Games. Your third and final clue. Named one of People magazine's 50 most beautiful people in 1997. Name
Would
that
be
woman's
Mia
name.
Hamm.
Mia Hamm is the correct answer.
5 points there for Stephen. Curt, you lead 13-9. Next category, Schwabi.
Next category, sports arenas or stadiums.
7 clues.
5 clues.
3 clues.
2 clues.
Name it.
Very good. For 2 clues, Curt, the category is sports arenas or stadiums. Your first clue, hosted the 1990 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Your second and final clue, the site of Babe Ruth's alleged cold shot home run in the 1932 World Series. Name that stadium or arena.
Wrigley Field.
Wrigley Field is the correct answer.
The score is 18-9. The next category.
The next category, gentlemen, is coaches.
Start the bidding at 7 clues.
2 clues.
Name that coach.
Nice and quick. The category is coaches. This is the last one. 2 clues to you, Stephen. Clue number 1, career NFL winning percentage, including playoffs, of .617. Your second clue, compiled a 10-4 record in the playoffs. Those are your 2 clues. In coaches, name that coach.
Joe Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs is not correct.
Curt, you get the points. Do you know it, Curt?
I do not.
Schwab, you want to school him?
I do not is not the right answer either. The answer is Bill Walsh.
With 23 points, Curt, you are tonight's winner. Curt will definitely be seeing you in the championship show, but we have to let you go, Stephen. Sorry about that.
Well,
It
thanks
was a
for
good
having
run.
me, Stu.
Hey, we hope your time in the research room has been a fun one for you. Hope it's been enjoyable for you, as it has been for the Schwab. Has it been enjoyable for you, Schwab, to be?
It has been.
Well,
Give him credit.
he doesn't give many people that kind of credit, Stephen. When we come back, I'll be dealing some cards to Curt and to Schwab. He'll be dealing some pain. Welcome back to Stump the Schwab. I am still Stuart Scott here in the back of the research room with Curt Spear and the Schwab. All right, Curt, you've already guaranteed yourself a spot in the championship game on August 20th. But if by some chance you stump the Schwab at this table right now, you are going to receive tickets to the 2005 ESPYs in Los Angeles, and it's all on ESPN. All right, here's how you play the big deal. On the table, there are 4 categories. Each category has 3 questions that become more difficult as you advance. The questions are worth 1, 3, and 5 points. For every incorrect answer, you receive a strike. And it's like baseball, y'all. 3 of these strikes, and you're out. Now, you also have 1 pass, so use it wisely. And a pass is not like, oh, I don't want to answer, so I pass. A pass is you can pass it on to your opponent. You can make your opponent answer that question. Let's take a look at tonight's categories. They are NBA foreign invasion, college football rivalries, the Strokes, which is all about tennis, and Daytona 500. Curt, this is your chance to stump the Schwab because you will pick questions that the Schwab has got to answer. Schwabi, you'll pick questions that Curt has to answer. All right, Curt, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this thing, man. You pick the first question for the Schwab.
Daytona 500.
All right, for 1 chip, the Daytona 500 question is, name the 1965 Champ Car champion who also won the 1967 Daytona 500. Schwab?
Mario Andretti.
Mario Andretti is correct, and Schwab gets a chip. All right, Schwab, pick a question for Curt.
NBA foreign invasion for 1.
NBA foreign invasion for 1 chip. Curt, name the 2 international players who won an NBA championship as members of the 2003-2004 Detroit Pistons.
Mehmet Okur.
Need it.
Don't have it.
Don't have it.
I do. And you know what? That's really Darko Milicic because he barely
That's
played.
right.
Number 2 draft pick overall. And
1 strike,
tough.
Curt. 1 strike for you. All right, pick it for Schwab.
The Strokes.
The Strokes, all about tennis. For 1 chip, Schwab, of the 4 Grand Slam tennis tournaments, what is the only one that allows for tiebreakers in the 5th set?
That's easy. That's the United States Open. One of
I was-
my favorite events.
I was about to pull the chip out, you know, when I read the question, because you know Schwab was going to get that. 2 chips for Schwab. Schwab, hit him up real proper like.
Daytona 500 for 3.
All right, Daytona 500 for 3 chips. Curt, in 1976, in one of the most memorable Daytona 500 finishes ever, 2 NASCAR rivals managed to finish first and second despite their collision on the final lap of the race. Who won and who was the runner-up?
I believe David Pearson won.
Correct?
I will guess that Richard Petty came in second.
You will guess correctly. Nice run. 3 chips there for Curt. All right, pick for Schwab.
College football rivalries.
College football rivalries for 1 chip, Schwab. What 2 teams play in the annual game known as the world's largest outdoor cocktail party?
Florida and Georgia.
Florida and Georgia is correct. How about them Georgia Bulldogs? All right, Schwab. We are tied 3 chips apiece.
NBA foreign invasion for 3.
NBA foreign invasion for 3 chips. Curt, in the 2002 NBA draft, 3 international players were selected in the first 7 picks. Name 2 of them along with the teams they were drafted by.
2002.
Okay,
Don't have anything.
nothing?
Nothing.
Schwab, you want to help him out?
Yao Ming was the first overall pick with the Rockets. Nene Hilario is in there, and Siskavili, I think, is in there. Now,
Skitishvili.
yeah, but
All right, Curt. Remember, you still have a pass left, but that is your second strike, Curt. All right, Curt, pick one for Schwab.
College football rivalries.
College football rivalries for 3 chips. Schwab, the little brown jug is awarded annually to the winner of what college football game?
Michigan and Minnesota.
You want to think about it or
No, see,
contemplate?
he doesn't know I started my career at ESPN college football.
Ah,
Oh, I shouldn't have told you that, but hey, such is life.
such is life. 3 chips for the Schwab. Schwab, pick one for Curt.
Let's try the Strokes for 3.
The Strokes for 3 chips. Curt, name the 4 men who won a Grand Slam singles title in 2003. If you want to use your pass, you can.
Andre Agassi. Juan Carlos Ferrero.
Correct so far.
Roger Federer.
Correct.
And Andy Roddick.
Correct. Nice run. 3 chips there for Curt. We are tied 6 chips apiece. Curt, pick one for Schwab.
Go with NBA Foreign Invasion.
NBA Foreign Invasion, the big boy, 5 chips. Schwab. 3 Canadians played in the NBA during the 2003-2004 season. Name them.
Steve Nash,
Correct.
Jamal McGlure,
Correct.
and Rick Fox.
Oh, Canada. Correct.
Making me work.
Big 5 chips for Schwab. It is 11-6. Schwab, you're ahead. Your turn to pick for Curt's turn.
College football rivalries for 5.
5 chips. Big boy, Curt. The annual Big East game between Pittsburgh and West Virginia is better known by what nickname?
I believe that would be the Backyard Brawl.
You believe correctly. 5 chips for Curt. We are tied 11-11. Curt, pick for Schwab.
Daytona 500.
Daytona 500, 5 chips. Schwab, since 1980, only 2 men have won back-to-back Daytona 500s. Name them.
Sterling Marlin is 1.
Correct?
Back to 1980. Cale Yarborough.
You are correct, sir. For 5 chips, Schwab comes up large.
Well, gee, I think we're going to go the Strokes for 5.
All right, hold up, y'all. Okay, hold up. I'm just getting a little nervous. If you get this right, we have a tie, and we will have a tie break. If, big word, 2 letters. Curt, for 5 chips, Pete Sampras appeared in the U.S. Open Finals 8 times, winning 5. Name the 3 players that defeated Sampras in the finals.
Stefan Edberg.
Correct?
Marat Safin.
Correct?
Leighton Hewitt.
We have a tie game, folks. 5 chips from my man Curt. We are all tied up. And with the tie, I'll tell you exactly how we're going to break the tie. I have a special tie-break question right here, and I have boards right here. Schwab, 1 for you with the pen. Curt, 1 for you with the pen. I have a tie-break question. First of all, write your names on the cards. I feel like a teacher right now. Just call me Professor Scott. Neatness counts, gentlemen.
Then I'm in trouble.
That's bad news.
Okay. Here's a tie-break question. Since 1971, only 1 Montreal Expo has won the National League Rookie of the Year. Name him.
Write it down.
Write it down. And then pass your boards to me. Curt's answer is Andre Dawson. Schwab's answer is Tim Raines. The correct answer is Andre Dawson. Curt, you have stumped the Schwab.
I was going to write Andre Dawson.
Curt, you're the man right now. You feeling good of yourself,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You're full of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to do something for me, though. Take a look at the table. You see what's going on? 2 strikes, no strikes. I mean, you were in the middle of getting waxed. Basically, you beat Schwab with the buzzer beater. Now, some people call that skill. Other people call it luck. Yeah, people's got to figure that out on their own. But you get a chance to prove yourself all over again on the championship show, August 20th. These two will meet again. For Stump the Schwab, I'm Stuart Scott. Hugs and hand pounds, everybody. And big ups to my man Curt right here for Stumping the Schwab.